Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today in this video, I'm accompanied with my brother, like we're playing jazz. This is my brother Art joining me again for a little discussion video. Today I wanted to talk about with him specifically, I'm gonna dive into like our favorite albums, music albums of all time. Pretty much these are just hand-picked albums. We'll probably discuss a little bit different picked genres, somewhat kind of different genres of music that pretty much that's very influential for both of us, and we can talk about the musicians and then talk about the tracks and specifically certain just albums. I'm not going to go through all repertoire of all albums for certain artists, but certain ones that really stood out for us that just impacted us as musicians and players and as listeners too, just as an audience member, just listening. But we want to take it away with what's the first album that pretty much was a big one for us?
So most of these albums are going to be like prog rock and fusion albums. So one of the first big prog rock bands was Yes. It came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
But these albums in particular are a few albums that we were going to talk about are with Trevor Rabin. Big influence on my guitar playing and just the epic songwriting that he does, that he brought to Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So first one for me, one of my personal favorites is Talk. Just this whole album is pure epicness. Yeah. It's just such a big sound. The vocals, the harmonies, all the guitar parts, and just the solid drums and bass. Yeah. Certain songs for us, I know, is Endless Dream. Yeah. They're a little three-part movement thing.
That's a great songs, man. Jesus, those epic long the orchestrations of how they arrange those like all the the part 1, part 2, part 3. What's the favorite? I like the second one. Yeah. The second part where it's all like it's like guitar with Trevor Rabin's like I don't know what that. I don't know what that little like
toy. Yeah. He's on this pickup.
It's like the one that goes what. Yeah, that was really cool, and that grooves. Yeah, and the piano parts. It starts with that riff with the piano, something like that. But with Trevor in the band, I think he made the band even bigger, I think. Yeah. And then obviously his solo albums that went on later that he did himself.
Another good track, real quick, on that album is "Real Love." Remember that one? That one's
that's a good one. I love that one.
Call this real love.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Get up those stairs, get up.
Such a good song.
I know the vocals too. That's the other thing with Yes, with these, well, at least with like that, this album, and even the other previous album was 90125.
That came after Talk, didn't it?
Maybe, right? Because that's when their hits were already, well, I mean, obviously, yeah, because Trevor was already in the band, and then he started. They already made those records together, and then obviously, they made hits. I think the 90125 was like their hits.
It was 94.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it was
90125 was 83.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was like almost 10 years apart. Oh. So yeah. Their stuff as just Yes, like their hit songs were pretty. They were just. I love that album with Changes. I mean, you can't go wrong with Owner of Lonely Heart, but Changes, man, that's my favorite. I love the
Leave It.
Yes. What is it? Cinema.
Oh yeah, the instrumental.
Yes.
It Can Happen.
Yes.
City of Love.
Hearts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God, man, that's such a good album. All those songs I think were amazing. Just orchestrations. Alan White on Kit. Mm-hmm. And then what's the vocal?
John Anderson.
John Anderson and Chris Squire on bass, and those guys were just monster players. They were just so
They set the standard for all
Yeah.
prog musicians, man. Yeah. All right.
I know, yeah. I love all those tracks. Really impactful albums. Those two, I would say specifically those two albums. Yeah, Talk and 90125. After that, we transitioned into Rush albums, and I think the biggest. Well, at least I'll say my favorite. Obviously, I mean, it's a standard one that everybody already, it's like, oh, that's like the favorite, whatever. But I guess that was like the biggest album for us growing up was Moving Pictures and Permanent Waves. Those two albums specifically, because they were like right back to back. I mean, most of their albums were back to back, but man, those two specifically, Permanent Waves into
That's when
Moving
they like.
Pictures.
I feel like that was like their Rush sound.
That was their
like,
peak Rush.
Yeah, like that was like the new Rush sound. That was like it was all good. Yeah, it was just very. I don't know. It was different. Like it would still Rush, but like it was finally like their signature sound.
Right.
Yeah, because you got Tom Sawyer. I mean, all the songs on Moving Pictures. Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta.
Yeah.
Or how do you say?
Red Barchetta.
YYZ.
Red Barchetta.
Limelight.
And then
Witch Hunt. Vital Signs.
Vital Signs. I know, man. All those songs are just power, just epic songs. Like each of them, just well thought out. Again, orchestrations. They're just those. And then again, these guys. This is 3 guys. I'm like, yes, it was a full group of 6 people, 6 or 7 sometimes. So like, and then these guys. Power trio come in and they just totally so much shit happening in their musicality and their instrumentation of the way they write, you know. And yeah, I think those 2 albums, I remember Dad playing those albums a lot for us on the or on in his truck, and he first would play it on well, he would have it on CD, but then at home he had those records I think on cassette, and we were listening to them with the
stereo.
Yeah, stereos. Yeah. YYZ was obviously one of the biggest songs that got me and you playing from when we were really young. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah, they did La Via Strangiato
way before
with Hemispheres. That was the one that stood out for us in that track. And I mean, there's other great tracks like Cygnus, Cygnus
X1.
Yeah, I love that track too. But like La Via, that was the biggest one for us that influenced our style. Like we started practicing that. We just wanted to know that song, and then
once we actually learned the song, then you could hear how it influenced us in our own music later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one and YYZ, definitely instrumental. Prog rock standards. Prog musician.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Prog rock standards. Yeah, exactly. Those are very impactful. Obviously, even like the Camera Eye, I love that one too. Just the way Geddy sings and Alex's like his little funky little riffs in there with his guitar and his chords, especially in Vital Signs too.
Oh yeah. So groovy.
Yeah, those are very huge albums, I would say, especially Permanent Waves too, because you had Spirit of Radio in there, which was
like a hit.
Yeah,
but then a very contrasting song like Jacob's Ladder. It's very unique.
Kind of slower.
Yeah.
More makes you wait.
Yeah.
Doom 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 doom.
Yeah. And it has that. Yeah, those hits at the end that I know from.
Oh yeah.
It's influenced me a lot in our music.
And dun 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 dun, something like that, right?
1 2 3
1 2 3 1 2
Just awesome writing too. So unique.
Those albums or those songs are, and then obviously one of my favorite songs is the what is it?
Natural Science.
Yeah.
The last track of the album. Yep. That was definitely, that song alone is a really big influence on our playing.
Yeah.
Because of the time signature.
Oh yeah, because it's in 7/8.
7/8.
That riff with the guitar. God damn, man. Neil Peart's drumming in that song, and oh my God, it's just insane the way they just build that song and the way it starts off. I mean, it starts off with the ocean.
The ocean, and then the acoustic guitar.
Yes.
Chords.
Yeah, and it just escalates, and it's like a 9-minute track.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty long.
It's pretty long. I mean, it doesn't feel like it because it's, but the way it starts off, they make you wait and wait and wait, and then oh my God, and then it goes into that dun 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 like what this 2-beat. That's insane, man. And then it just goes dun 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 to triple A, 1 2 the 70 dun 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 the nation. Shit, that's insane, man.
Obviously, every Rush album's huge for us, but we got but once we actually dove into
the next phase,
more progressive stuff that was just more like technical and metal heavier stuff, was Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Another like pioneer progressive metal band,
Yeah.
that paved the way for lots of bands in that genre. But some of our favorite albums from DT are, of course, Images and Words. That was like, I remember first hearing that whole album, every song on the track.
Yeah.
It was just, it
was a standard. It was another, like, it was their hit album. Every track on that song, I think.
On that album.
Inside and out, you know what I mean? Like, every guitar riff, every keyboard solo, every drum part. Like that song, that album, Images and Words, obviously that's what got them famous. We always go back to that album specifically, and it's just, I think they nailed it's just every song they're orchestrated, arranged, the way they arranged it, it's just unbearable. Like I can't believe how each song sounds different, but they all sound kind of the same, you know what I mean? But they're so different though from each other.
What are your favorite songs on that one?
I like Under the Glass Moon. That one's one of my favorite. Well, I like it obviously, because of Portnoy's part with the because he has that quarter note on the
the tambourine.
Tambourine, yeah. He has that quarter note steady groove with his feet and hands doing the 16 notes between. Yeah, that one I like that a lot because of the instrumental part. Those part, and then John Petrucci's solo.
That's on Under the Glass Moon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was Take the Time.
Oh, Take the Time. That's a good one too. I like that one. I think I would say my least favorite track on that album is probably Pull Me Under. I don't really like that one that much. And Surrounded. I don't listen to those ones as much. Pull Me Under is good. I do say it is it's obviously their hit song, but I don't listen to that one a lot. I actually like listening to the last track. What is it?
Learning to Live.
Yes, that one, and then Metropolis, obviously Under the Glass Moon, and Take the Time.
And we just started getting to Dream Theater when we were in middle school.
Yeah.
So this was like from 2006 to 2008-ish, 2009.
It still wasn't really as it didn't really resonate yet with me. Like I was listening to them, but I don't think nothing clicked yet until I got into high school. Yeah. And then what was the albums that we were?
So like 2000 Systematic Chaos at 2006 or
2008 or 6. Oh no, I think it was like 2006, 2004. Because I remember that's when they were doing almost right before they did or after their 20th anniversary. Yeah, their 20th. Something
so
like
I was in 7th grade, and I think we still couldn't technically play like that. But we were listening and just really trying to grasp what was happening in the music. And we were like, man,
so many notes.
But yeah, I love the riffs in that album, like Dark Eternal Night. That was like that was the first 7-string riff that I learned. I remember. I was like, I have to learn this riff.
Oh, is that
even the first one, In the Presence of Enemies, starts off with like an epic, unison line that they all play, and then just awesome arrangement. And then
that's true.
Forsaken's good. It's kind of short and sweet, but it has a good groove. And it starts with piano.
Oh yeah, that riff on the piano.
It was kind of like Evanescence,
kind of like what you're
that, or like the pop metal. Bands like that.
Specifically, that album I'd say was we went crazy for that album. We were listening to it every day. I love that all those tracks on the Constant Motion. There you go. That's another one.
And then the album following after that, Black Cloud and Silver Lining, which was the last album with Mike Portnoy.
After Systematic Chaos?
Yeah.
That was right after?
Yeah, in 2009.
Really? Oh,
Systematic was 2007, and then Black Cloud.
Damn, man, those albums were still great, man. Octavarium was first before Systematic Chaos. Okay,
that was 2005.
Black Clouds was oh my gosh, yeah, and that's when I think seriously, like when Mike Portnoy left the band, that's when we were getting like already all invested into this band, because obviously, like Dad showed us those albums, Images and Words and Awake. He showed us those first 2 albums, and then we started really diving into the other stuff
that was coming out when we were still
in high school, middle school, high school. But in those 2 albums, I would say Systematic Chaos and Black Clouds and Silver Linings. Oh my God, that what is it? The first song,
Nightmare to Remember.
Yes, man, Jesus Christ.
Another epic prog metal song, and then their Count of Tuscany.
I like the first and last song the most off that whole album, and especially I think as far as like the drumming perspective, just the way Mike Portnoy plays all his fills. I can't even sing it, but specifically I love all his ornamentation. Mike Portnoy, I think that's when I was already like, I love his stuff. I love Portnoy's concept of the way he plays his grooves into his fills, and then when they do their instrumentation solo stuff, like it's just insane. I would say those are probably a
lot of the riffs in that album influenced us a lot in our first album and our second album that we're still working on. So real quick, we'll throw an oddball album in there that not many people know about, an underground band, since we're on the topic of Dream Theater bands alike. But this band called Lemire Voice was, this one album was on repeat for me. Such a huge influence again on our stylistic sound. But their album called Insights came out in 1996.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it was this band from the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Not Neverland.
Netherlands.
Peter Pan.
Good night, Neverland. The old guy who's like, I've lost my marbles. I thought you were still talking about Peter Pan.
I was, and then he says the kid, he goes, he lost them good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Lemire Voice, the riffs in that song, or in that album, and the instrumental in that album, Alaska Chronicles.
Oh yeah,
that song was a huge influence on our playing too.
Yeah.
I think what separated Lemire Voice from Dream Theater was like the grooves that they came up with.
Yeah,
because it was still like progressive metal, but it was like these very unique grooves, like almost like Latin-ish type grooves sometimes, a little bit. It's like heavy, and then like the breakdowns they have are just so like, oh man, I don't know how to describe it.
There's a lot. They have like certain kind of riffs, like different. They're not very. They don't do a lot of like like Dream Theater does, but they did more like like that one from the second track, that instrumental one. I forgot how it goes. Yeah, that break, that heavy. Yeah, with the guitar and all that. There it is. Yes, with those chords. Fudge, man. Yeah.
And then and then the guitar solo.
I know, yeah. They were not as like, they didn't do a lot of speed technicality. They did like real riffs that you could actually groove to the whole entire. I think that's what it was. It was more of a groove band.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dream Theater.
Yeah. And yeah, the vocalists, I don't know any of their names.
I know, right? That's the one band that, I didn't take the time to actually look up most of their names, but
because there's not a lot of information about them.
Yeah, because they only have two albums, right?
Yeah,
it was only 2. And didn't you say something like they would have won best album, prog album at that time?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Over Dream Theater, but it's because they said because of the singer from Insight, the singer from Lend Me Your Voice, that they didn't understand
him, even though he's singing in English.
Yeah,
but it is kind of hard to.
Aren't they also singing in their language too at some points?
I don't remember. That's what I'm saying. I have to like look up the lyrics. As you listen. But
huge album though, I would say. Like you said, it was always on repeat for us. That was man.
I remember falling asleep. Like, because my dad gave me a little cassette player with headphones, and I remember falling asleep to that album all the time. Like, I just remember I would listen to it and fall asleep, and it was still playing in my head. So I was dreaming about it in my head. And I think that's why all this music came out of me
later.
Like in, middle school, high school.
That's a great album. I love that album. I never get tired of listening to it, no matter how old people think, it's from the 90s. No, hell no.
And then since we're still on the progressive metal side, we'll go to like, these are the prog. I don't think this band is untouchable when it comes to instrumental prog, and the musicians in there are like the biggest prog metal guys. But Planet X.
Oh yeah, Planet X. Yep. Those guys and their riffs and their grooves.
Because they're groove and technical.
Yes,
that's the thing.
They're both.
Yeah, so like they have all the parts,
and they're probably the most technical, more than Dream Theater, because like Dream Theater is known for like doing things in fast time with speed, but obviously Dream Theater is like, they're known for changing time signatures within like 2 minutes, less than like 2 minutes. They've changed like 6 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've changed more in a minute, like in change. And that's their unique thing.
The main difference with Planet X and Dream Theater is because Planet X is instrumental. So they have
all the freedom.
Yeah. So they weren't restricted to a vocalist, so that's why they're the most technical and just
they do stuff in like what,
out
11,
of this
16
world, out of this world music, and that's why it's called Planet X, because it's like this stuff doesn't belong on Earth, this music.
That's a good way to put it.
Anyway, their first albums are really good. I know, like Universe, their first album, or Moon Babies.
Yeah.
Really, really influential songs, just big epic grooves.
Yeah, for sure.
The Quantum.
That's my favorite album.
When we were listening.
That's my favorite Planet X album.
Yeah. All those songs on that album. But Alien Hip Hop.
Oh,
the first track.
Oh, yeah. Ay, man. Damn it.
Desert Girl, Matrix Gate.
That live album, hearing it on a loop.
Yeah.
Hearing, most of the songs I forget. I forget most of the songs, but like, there's a lot of that one that.
It's Her Animal.
Yes. There was a lot of stuff that influenced us.
Tony McAlpine.
Yeah. Oh, man. I need to listen to it. It's so good, man. That whole entire album. The live one. I don't know why. I always like listening to that one.
It's a great one.
And I guess, because those musicians, they would just come from really amazing backgrounds, and obviously they drifted into their own albums, and obviously it's because of the drummer. He is one of the biggest like because Virgil Donati can play piano and guitar and drums. So that's why like his album In This Life, that's another album where
that was a
blew
big
my
album
head,
for
man.
us for sure.
Yeah.
All the syncopated guitar and drum riff patterns together.
Yes.
They're just locked in.
Yeah,
Like Rhythm
yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh no, sorry, I'm singing our song.
Oh,
How's it go? Ding, 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 ding.
yes.
why
You're
am I
talking about 11 or?
Oh, Rhythm Zero.
Oh, yeah.
The first track.
Oh, yeah.
And then 11 too.
All those tracks, I loved them.
Again, just instrumental prog.
Yeah, very influential though, I would say, because of those players. And obviously, yeah, Virgil Donati, his stuff is just monster, insane kind of playing. It's just above my head, you know what I mean? And it's above a lot of people's heads because it's just how he plays with odd time, and he still manages to make you groove to a 11, 16, 17, 8, like 32, 6, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, really great musicians on that album, and just good arrangements. Yeah, going back to some of the
instrumental music. So one of my all-time favorite guitar player, Joe Satriani.
Yeah.
A lot of his albums we played, and man, we were just talking. We used to cover so many songs when we played.
Joe Satriani, yeah.
We were listing a big list of songs. I was like, man, I didn't realize how much Satriani we played. But as far as albums, hugest influences on us were Surfing with the Alien.
Yeah.
That whole album, top to bottom.
Yes.
It's just like, I don't know, it's a hit.
My favorite tracks are Circles,
Echo,
yeah.
Ice Nines.
Man, that album specifically, obviously, because our dad used to play all those songs with his buddies back in the day, and hearing it on cassette tape, and hearing the way how simple some of those songs were, but they just so impactful. Just again, it was just a start of like Joe Satriani basically started the trend of the instrumental
guitar.
Sorry, yeah, there you go.
Guitar artist, yeah.
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 And he influenced so many guys that followed later in the 2000s and to where we are now. But yeah, like Joe Satriani is the GOAT, man. He's I
think when it comes to melodies, like Satriani is above, like, cause you can hum along any of his like hits, his melodies over like maybe something like from Steve Vai. He's a little more unique, a little more out there.
Yeah.
But Satriani is just like
catchy melody.
Yeah, catchy. Like, oh man, such a solid band behind him. Yeah, all his melodies. What
was the other?
The other one that came out, I remember when we were kids. Like, I remember getting it from Barnes and Noble. The CD was Crystal Planet in 1999. Yeah. Man, that album.
Someone with the chrome guitar.
That's when he first shaved his head too.
Oh, that's right.
That was the first album where
he looks like an alien, and his music sounds like an alien.
Yeah, all those songs, Crystal Planet, some of our favorite. The first track, Up in the Sky.
Yeah.
Obviously, Crystal Planet, House Full of Blues.
Oh man,
that was such a good jam song.
All those tracks. Yeah, that's another favorite album. Ceremony, man.
Raspberry Jam, Delta V. And then I think the favorite track on that album is Time. Just super fat groove. Get chills listening to it, man. Still.
That's such a good song. Yeah, I know. Joe Satriani, man, I don't know what it is about his sound and the way he does things with the wah. Like that's one thing I've noticed is and the wah and the whammy bar. Right?
Yeah.
The wah pedal, which is his thing, and then his whammy bar. He makes melodies off with the whammy bar, and it's just like, what the hell is he doing?
Over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk all day about Satriani, but those two albums are definitely very
Yes.
influential on my playing, which influences our sound.
We did a lot of covers from him, so yeah.
And then, since we're talking about instrumental guitar players, someone who's quite modern or within the last 10, 15 years was Plini.
Oh yeah,
Who was obviously very influenced by Satriani too, but I think Plini, when he first came out, his first like EPs were very unique and different from everyone else. Again, because of his like catchy melodies, really cool grooves, prog rock groove stuff, and then he's very jazz influenced too. But yeah, just his tone and signature sound that we know now. But the album that I think everyone knows and loves is Handmade Cities, his first official or his first full-length album.
Yes, yeah. I don't know how many times I was listening to that album too, man.
Yeah.
Just all the musicians on that album specifically, and
Troy Wright on drums, and Simon Grove on bass. The monster musicians too, just solid.
He's like the new wave of Joe Satriani. Like it's because it's a guitar album, but it's basically like a prog album. But because it's Plini, and he's the arranger, composer, the guitar riff. So it's like he is like a new, trend of new prog that kind of influenced to other players as well. But
that album, Electric Sunrise.
How many times have you seen him?
Plini, I've seen 3 times so far.
I still haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Damn it. I want to see him at some point if I ever get a chance to.
Yeah. Inhale, I really like that song.
Oh, man.
It starts off with like those chords, and then the groove comes in. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Man, yeah, such a great album. That whole album, especially with the arrangements as well. Very enjoyable. Very just heavy grooves and heavy riffs, and just they like to go over the bar. You know what I mean? Especially the drummer, he likes to do all the half beat, off beat, and all this.
Another influence on me on our second album, which you'll hear.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Plini influences for sure.